After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain of 32 that time.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
Hey, report!
First down, here's the run with Cook. Gets around him, and he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run the counter with Cook. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now Jackson on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season, and that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
They'll run with Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Dalvin Cook so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. Going to Woods, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the Buccaneers are going to have it here just past the 25.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And complete to Drake London. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw is Rodgers. Got his man. It's London. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And he is going to lose yardage here. Robert Quinn is the one who burst in there to blow that play up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first to pick up of 12 yards.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And he is going to lose yardage here. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers throws right back to London, complete again. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Montgomery going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
They try again with Montgomery. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Out is Myers for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
From the 30 on second down, Jackson, and Cook has it left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it.
I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Cook up the gut. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 43 yards now on the ground at just 7 carries.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Left side, Cook. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 26. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Play action. It's Jackson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
No, we changed it.
Now Jackson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Joey Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. That's good for a Buccaneer first to pick yards. And again, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now it's Rodgers. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Montgomery back to the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Right side, Claypool's got it. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Rodgers now to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. He hit his first, this one from 38. Myers' kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So a capper there to a pretty good 1st half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And he's able to get this all the way to the 40 before going out of bounds. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it.
Rodgers going to throw. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham.
And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
We are going.
It's a jet sweep. Here comes Claypool with it.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Myers' kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
D.D. Westbrook to return from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got it to Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Rodgers hands to Montgomery. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. On play action, now Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's the former Buckeye Pete Warner getting the sack. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
Taking it about the 1. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 23. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Jackson. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
He'll return it from the 6. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Now let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Jackson.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Got his man. It's Williams. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's a matter, really, of the rich getting richer. They built a big lead already. Now tack 2 more on following the safety. And they've got the football back as well. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 14.
To throw is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is going to have the Niners 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Bucsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Running left, Montgomery.
Daxton Hill there to make the stop on defense.
run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Back to Montgomery on second down. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing is Rodgers. This one complete to Devin Funchess. He's got the first down and more. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. And even 40 yards. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about it. And, my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off. Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And that is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there, that defense able to hold firm. backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Boye Mafe in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, Jackson. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here's J.K. Scott now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
22. Do not keep it to 22.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Really nice effort and an even nicer stop from Marcus May there.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
And they will take a knee here.
This was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So for the Bucs, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8.